Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. No prayer too small. God hears them all.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear, leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You know how to get out of that coffin. You tried lifting the lid. The enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from doing that. You then bang on the lid, hoping that somebody might notice that the dirt is moving around, and they'll start digging their way down towards you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn for help. In reality, there are people standing by your grave. You just didn't know that. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually using drugs and alcohol. In order to defeat an addiction, you have to be great at repressing your fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that maybe, just maybe, while you were abusing drugs and alcohol, that you might overdose? And if that's not selfish enough, that you might overdose and leave the people that counted on you and loved you most behind. People like your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, husband, wife, children, and grandchildren. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person that I'm reading about on these index cards. that waited and waited until it was too late. Instead, pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I will help you take your life back. For your life is gone. There are other coaches out there, thousands of them. One in particular is Larry Geist from the Geist Academy at 516-458-2741. Larry Geist and I tell people like you, it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter where you've been. What matters is that you're here today, looking for a brighter today and a better tomorrow. Go to www.odysseyconsult.org or call Larry at 516-458-2741 and let Larry Geist help you with your depression, with your low self-esteem, with your addiction. Larry Geist from the Geist Academy. 516-458-2741. Folks, don't forget to take your slippers off at night before you go to bed. Instead of leaving them at the edge of your bed, stick them way under your bed. In the morning when you wake up, and God allows you to have another beautiful day to appreciate waterfalls and streams like this, look for those slippers. They're under your bed. Remember, you put them there last night. While you're on your knees, utilize the thing I called knee mail. Knee mail. Knee mail is a personal chat line between you and God. You should be doing this each and every day. While you're talking to God, thank Him for the home you live in, for the clothes you're wearing, and for the food you have, and for the relationships in your life. Ask God for guidance and forgiveness, mercy. Ask God for just giving you everything that you have. Speak from the heart, because there is no special way to speak. Just speak from the heart, speak directly to God, and thank God. Then, when you're done with that, put those slippers on and walk with God 24/7. Knee mail, K-N-E-E mail, should be done each and every day between you and God. Today is treat everyone as it is their last day on earth, because one day all of us will have a last day on earth. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be on this earth for the last day. Treat them with kindness, understanding, and just treat them with love and compassion. Your life will never be the same again when you start treating people this way. I've heard people say that we should live each day as it is our last day on earth, because one day, my friends, it will be. I guess the idea of that will spend our days doing what we love to do and always wished we could do, which for me would be most likely involve dealing and helping people like you watching me. And of course, loving to eat cake. But instead, what if we all lived our lives, though it is our last day on earth? What would you do? Perhaps we'd show the love, kindness, and understanding to others that we usually withhold. We'd overlook the faults and the little judgment things that we have towards other people that you have to bring out for whatever reason that you do. We tell people how much they mean to us. We'd laugh at their silly jokes. We'd really look at them and listen intently to every word that they say, because today might be your last day, you say. What a difference this simple shift in perspective could make in our relationships. People need to know how much we love them, appreciate them, and need them. But we need to tell them now, while we still have time and the ability to do so, because one day it will be too late. Before my mom passed, I was blessed with the gift of time, so I was able to tell her how much I loved her and appreciated her each and every time I saw her. Then, of course, there are other people on the other hand, like my neighbor, who his brother-in-law, on the other hand, was gone suddenly in a car accident. Although my mother was gone suddenly too in an accident, a truck accident. She was run over. I was able to tell her how much I appreciated and loved her each and every day. So there was no unsaid words. But for my neighbor, whose brother-in-law that day he didn't even communicate with, he never had that chance, because they let their anger and their hate towards each other unsolved. Say what you need to say now while you have the luxury of time that God has given you. Every single day we're given opportunities to make a difference in our lives. Would I be less likely to hang up next time a telemarketer calls if I knew it would spend his last day on earth feeling rejected because I couldn't make a moment to listen to his spiel? Of course I wouldn't. I would definitely listen if I knew that, but we take for granted that life is here forever. Would I take a moment to ask the store clerk how her day was going, and then genuinely listen to her and reply if I knew my actions would allow her to leave the earth feeling heard and significant? Why not just try this idea just today? Just try it one day. In every single interaction that you have with another living being, treat them as it is their last day on earth, because it might be yours. I have a feeling that by the end of the day spent loving and appreciating others, you will feel so wonderful that you'll want to do it again tomorrow. Your life will never be the same again. That I promise you, friends. We are not given a short time, but we make it short. And we are not ill-spoiled, but it's wasted. Or just as ample pricely wealth falls to the bad owner, to the squadron in the moment, but wealth, however modest, if entrusted to good custodian, increases with us. So our lifetime extends amply with the managed property. In other words, God has given you a good life, but a lot of us, including the ones that have addictions or to alcohol and drugs, we shorten our lease on life that God has given us. Manage your property. This is your your property. Manage it with care. When you own a car, you wash it and you make sure that things go into the car that keeps the engine going. Well, that's the way you have to treat your life. You have to manage your body as it is a car. He contends that we allow others to rob us of our valuable time. That's exactly what God is looking in. He's saying, why would they be robbing their own time? And that could become, it could come from being selfish on what you put into your body, and maybe you overindulge on things that are just not great for you. Each minute we give up to another is a moment we lose to building a life that creates happiness through virtue. With that in mind, I thought about how I would live tomorrow if I knew I was going to be my last day on earth and I couldn't tell anyone. Here's what I came up with. Get up early, go for a run, meditate. These first three provide me with a sense that I am in charge of my life. I'd need that if I was facing death, because I want to show that I am capable of still making that decision. Let's use, for an example, Rita, R-I-T-A, an older lady who is facing death. And any day might be her last day on earth. And she's your neighbor, and how would you help her? Well, make Rita the best cup of coffee she's ever had before. I'd greet her with a smile and give her a hug and tell her I love her each and every day that she was still around. I'd make sure that I help her call a relative and, have her just speak to relatives that she hasn't spoken to, because maybe she can't even see her telephone. Her eyes are so bad. I'd have her call, maybe even, because she always talks about her brother, I'd have her call her brother and tell her how awesome he is. I personally would call, if I was Rita, my nieces and nephews and tell them what I can and how I'm doing. Make sure that Rita knew where to find her will. Tie up incomplete communications for her. Help her with that. Deal with the small pile of paper on her desk. Maybe they represent decisions that she's been avoiding that maybe you can point out and help her. I'd mow Rita's lawn and do her edges around, because she's been neglecting to doing that because of her illness. I want all that to look good for her, so each and every time she still has the opportunity to look out the window, she sees that. I'd put away her clothes, fold them back, maybe even clean up her kitchen for her. I'd get rid of all the garbages that have been piling up. These are the things you want to do to help somebody that maybe she does know her last day on earth is coming up soon. And in this particular day, she does know because the doctor told her. The doctor told her she didn't have very long. So these are the things you can do to help people. Tell the whole neighborhood to pitch in and help you. And ensure that Rita knows that she's loved and appreciated. And go make sure that she has dinner each and every night. Maybe you want to even enjoy a glass of nice cold iced tea or lemonade with Rita, and you know, make that dinner like I said. You know, give her maybe a tablet and a pen so she can write something, or maybe write a journal. At night, if you see Rita watching TV and it's late and you have access to her home, shut off her TV for her. And then do the same repetitiously each and every day while Rita's still around. What would you do if today was your last day? Ask yourself that each and every day. For Rita, she already knows her last days are coming. For people that are healthy and younger or even middle-aged, we don't know. It's just going to happen. For my mother, she didn't know. It just happened. 1:47, she was alive at Stop and Shop in Shirley. 3:05, she was dead. These things just come. But if you know a person like Rita, who was told she doesn't have very long, help her. And from today on, walk through life treating people as it is their last day on earth. Help them, smile, listen to them. That is all. And it's so inexpensive to do any of this. But it's up to you to make sure that you do this. You would feel better if you walk through life treating everyone as it is their last day on earth. Remember, for them, it will be their last day one day. But also remember, for you, it also will be your last day one day. And may God bless you.
Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Just remember,